In the groovy era of the 70s, one family band ruled the television waves, capturing the hearts of millions with their infectious melodies and wholesome charm. The Partridge Family became a cultural phenomenon, and at the center of it all was the stunning and talented Susan Dey. Throughout the television series, she encountered various characters and situations that contributed to her growth and development. And just now, she has stepped forward to make some jaw-dropping revelations. The secrets, scandals, and stories that she revealed will make you fall in love with the Partridge Family all over again. But what really happened behind the scenes? And what secrets were hidden beneath those tour buses and harmonious family sing-alongs? Join us as we pull back the curtain and unravel how Susan Dey reveals secrets from her time on the Partridge Family, childhood, and... Born on December 10, 1952 in the heart of Illinois, Susan is the daughter of a nurse mother and a newspaper editor father. She faced the untimely departure of her father when she was just a young girl in her single digits. Before this moment, her life took a turn as her mother whisked her away to New York, seeking a fresh start after the loss of her mother. Susan's stepmother, Gail, was a remarkable woman who not only became a new mom to Susan, but also introduced her to the enchanting realm of showbiz. Gail, armed with a keen eye for potential, envisioned Susan as a model extraordinaire. Undeterred by the challenge, she tirelessly sent Susan's photos to various agencies, opening the door to a budding modeling career. This glamorous journey reached new heights when Susan landed a role in the promising show, The Partridge Family. Imagine a delightful storyline following a family of musicians traveling in an old school bus, bringing joy through their performances. Susan, cast as Laura, the eldest daughter, played a crucial role alongside Shirley Jones, portraying the family head and her on-screen stepbrother, the charming David Cassidy. But here's where the plot thickens. Behind the scenes, Susan found herself captivated by none other than her on-screen sibling, David Cassidy. Despite their on-screen sibling dynamic, a hidden crush blossomed, adding an unexpected twist to the tale of Dey's journey into the fascinating world of entertainment. Legend has it that Shirley Jones had some words of caution for her when she got wind of Susan's crush on David Cassidy. Word has it that Shirley, in her wisdom, warned Susan that David might not be the most emotionally considerate person, and that his true passion lay in building his solo music career rather than in forging a romantic connection. Despite Shirley's words of wisdom, Susan chose to ignore the red flags and pressed on with her romantic pursuit. Regrettably, it turns out Shirley was onto something. David Cassidy wasn't the ideal choice for Susan. The days of the Partridge Family, which despite its modest success, got the axe after just 4 seasons. In the midst of those 4 seasons, she finally got her chance with David Cassidy. However, their rendezvous didn't blossom into the enduring romance she had hoped for. According to David himself, revealed in his 1994 historical account, he was hesitant to give in to Susan's romantic advances, and their night together turned out to be nothing more than a fleeting one-night stand. In a surprising revelation before his 2017 demise, David Cassidy disclosed that he hadn't spoken to her since the early 1990s. Fans quickly pieced together that their falling out likely stemmed from David's candid revelations about their brief encounter in his history. Although the romantic spark between Susan and David fizzled out, they managed to maintain a cordial relationship until at least 1990. That year, the duo shared the stage as presenters at the MTV Music Video Awards. The exact details of what caused the rift between them remain unclear, but it's possible that David's history, where he openly admitted to never being attracted to Susan and viewing her as nothing more than a sister, might have played a role in Susan's displeasure. True story and magic roommates. Once upon a time, there was this fascinating tale that takes its roots from a family quite different from the Cowsills family. But the spark of inspiration ignited from a peculiar source. The Cowsills. This lively crew, hailing from the charming town of Newport, Rhode Island, was no ordinary musical outfit. Comprising not 1, not 2, but a total of 7 children, with 6 strapping lads and a single dazzling girl, their familial maestro was none other than their nurturing mother. Their loudest point of fame, related to a musical masterpiece, reached its zenith during the swinging 60s, and resonated harmoniously into the vibrant 70s. The Cowsills were a phenomenon in their own right, capturing the hearts of audiences far and wide. Interestingly, these two families, the Councils and the Cowsills, share more than a few notes of resemblance. Most strikingly, the composition of their family units mirrors each other, marked by the curious absence of a paternal figure. It's a curious synchrony, an echo of shared experiences. The Cowsills, though never actually making a cameo in the television show inspired by their melodious lives, were on the cusp of being the stars of their own on-screen spectacle. It was almost a reality, but the maestros behind the scenes insisted on a different casting choice. It was this singular decision that brought Shirley Jones on, and she'd go on to take up the mantle of the family matriarch. The twist in this saga comes full circle when, years before, the world would be introduced to the Councils through Shirley Jones, and she had the unique privilege of gracing one of the Cowsills' earlier concerts. It was as if life's rhythm was orchestrating its own symphony of surprises. Isn't it fascinating how the chords of fate play out, creating a harmonious fabric of events that weaves together the threads of these two remarkable families? The Dance of Destiny, with its unexpected twists and turns, brings forth a tale that is as captivating as a lyrical composition, leaving us marveling at the intricate choreography of life itself. Carol Brady and Shirley Partridge's trouble with Shirley Jones, the brilliant actress who portrayed the head of the Partridge Family, faced a choice in her career that could have reshaped the iconic TV landscape. She was not only the matriarch of the Partridges, skillfully juggling the responsibilities of raising kids and keeping their musical pursuits on track, but she had the chance to be the quintessential TV mom for the Bradys in The Brady Bunch. However, Jones made a bold decision. She turned down the opportunity to join the Brady family, explaining that, while the idea of playing the mother in the Brady Bunch was initially attractive to me, I turned it down because I didn't want to be the mother taking the roast out of the oven and not doing much else. Just picture it. Shirley Jones as the maternal figure in the Brady household instead of Florence Henderson. The mere thought creates a moment of contemplative silence. What a fascinating twist it would have been. Shirley Jones, as one of the earliest highly visible working mothers in U.S. TV history, found the idea more enticing. In a parallel to her TV character, she successfully managed her career in the Partridge Family while fulfilling her role as a working woman who could also take care of her kids. It's a captivating what-if scenario that adds a unique layer to the dynamic world of classic television. However, I've got a treasure trove of stories to share with you about the Partridge Family, ranging from the peculiar to the sizzling. Behind the scenes of this seemingly squeaky clean show, there were some jaw-dropping revelations. Fame and fortune may have cast a glittering sheen on the surface, as there's a darker side that often rears its head when the stakes are high. Surprisingly, they almost starred in the show inspired by their lives, but fate took a different turn. Producers insisted on casting Shirley Jones as the family matriarch, years before she even introduced the Cowsills at one of their early concerts. Funny how life's twists and turns play out. Talking about the Partridge family's residence, oh, what a house. Depending on the show you're watching, the occupants might change. The Partridge family actually shared their digs with another popular primetime family, the nosy Kravitzes. Yes, the very neighbors who lived next door to the enchanting Samantha Stevens from Bewitched. That iconic house has a star-studded resume, appearing in shows like I Dream of Jeannie, Dennis the Menace, and The Donna Reed Show. Watch The Partridge Family and you might catch a glimpse of Samantha's house while the Partridge bus cruises by. This house even made a cameo in Reese Witherspoon's Pleasantville. The question now is, who will be the next lucky residents to move in? The mystery unfolds. Susan found luck with L.A. Law. In his revealing historical account, David Cassidy spilled the beans on a rather intriguing episode involving his connection with Susan Dey. Contrary to popular belief, his liaison with Susan was fueled by guilt, not romance. Yet the irony lies in the fact that he unabashedly disclosed details about her in his memoir without a hint of remorse. Feigning ignorance about Susan's prolonged silence in their communication, David even publicly criticized her for abstaining from the Partridge Family reunions, leaving the reasons behind her actions shrouded in mystery. During the heyday of the Partridge Family, a tie-in book titled Susan Dey's Secrets on Boys, Beauty, and Popularity hit the shelves. Despite its suggestive title, the book failed to unveil the genuine secret that Susan harbored, her unspoken affection for her on-screen sibling. Moreover, it conveniently omitted the poignant detail of Susan battling anorexia during her time on the show. Susan herself attributed her struggle with anorexia to the tumultuous era of the 1960s sexual revolution, seeking to downplay her blossoming curves to avoid undue attention from boys. Inspired by the waif-like fashion icon Twiggy, Susan embraced a slender appearance. Fortunately, she triumphed over her anorexic tendencies before they could escalate into a serious concern. Many succumbed to the perils of eating disorders with devastating consequences, but Susan managed to steer clear of such tragic fates. Post the Partridge Family, she avoided being pigeonholed in the child star archetype, thanks to the relentless efforts of her agent, who battled vigorously to secure more mature roles for the blossoming star. Amidst the tumultuous landscape of Hollywood, she found her stroke of luck with the legal drama L.A. Law, marking a successful transition from her Partridge Family days. She stepped into the role that would become her second claim to fame, Grace Van Owen on the television series L.A. Law. Her journey on the show, which lasted until 1992, saw her character evolve from a district attorney to a distinguished judge. Susan's contribution to the series not only endeared her to audiences, but also earned her critical acclaim. In 1988, she clinched the Golden Globe for lead actress in a drama series, solidifying her status as a powerhouse performer. Throughout the show's run, Susan garnered several Golden Globe nominations and Emmy Award recognitions, showcasing the depth of her talent. However, not everything was smooth sailing in Dey's L.A. Law tenure. After the 6th season, discontent brewed as Susan expressed dissatisfaction with her character's tumultuous romantic subplot. Threatening to part ways with the series, she prompted a creative shakeup. The show pressed on for 2 more seasons, guided by a new directive to craft more captivating storylines. In the world of showbiz, Dey became more than just a familiar face on the airwaves. She was a dynamic force embarking on diverse ventures within the entertainment realm. Back in 1972, she graced the silver screen alongside Charlton Heston in the cinematic thriller Skyjacked, showcasing her versatility beyond her iconic role in The Partridge Family. Susan's post-Partridge endeavors saw her making a memorable appearance on the hit series Hawaii Five-0 and taking on a significant role in the 1977 made-for-television movie Mary Jane Harper Cried Last Night. As the 1980s progressed, Susan's career was thriving, although she may have harbored doubts about landing lead roles. Away from the glitz of Hollywood, Susan's personal life witnessed 2 marriages. From 1976 to 1981, she was wedded to talent manager Lenny Hershen, and during this union, the couple welcomed their daughter, Sarah Dey Hershen. A second chapter unfolded in 1988 when Susan tied the knot with Bernard Safransky, marking a more enduring marital bliss. In the form of Dey's life, both on and off the screen, resilience and reinvention have been the prevailing themes. Strong friendship and sexual relation. Despite the considerable age gap between them, Cassidy treated Dey with the warmth and care of a sister. Yet not everyone on the set of The Partridge Family turned a blind eye to Dey's obvious infatuation with Cassidy. Shirley Partridge, portrayed by Shirley Jones, couldn't overlook Susan's massive crush on David. Despite the friendly atmosphere, Shirley found Susan's attachment concerning. She repeatedly warned Susan against getting too emotionally invested in her on-screen brother. The truth of the matter was that Shirley Jones was well aware of Cassidy's laid-back approach to handling emotions. She genuinely cared about Dey and didn't want her to experience any emotional turmoil. However, Dey, driven by her unwavering feelings for Cassidy, remained unaffected by Shirley's advice. The constant talks did little to deter her from her deep-seated affection. Frustrated with the situation, Shirley decided to clue David in on Dey's behavior. Oblivious to the meaning behind Shirley's warning, Cassidy extended an invitation to Dey for a dinner following the Partridge Family's final wrap party. After the dinner, Cassidy took her to his alma mater, where they spent 3 hours engaged in a heartfelt conversation. During their talk, Dey poured her heart out, detailing the internal struggle she faced in suppressing her love for him. She expressed her nervousness about their future as the show concluded. In response, he acknowledged the effort he put into maintaining their friendship. He explained that with the show concluding, their paths would inevitably diverge. As the conversation unfolded, he promised to take Dey to Rancho California, a place he frequented when seeking solace. The revelation of Dey's deep affection caught him off guard, realizing that the best role he could play in her life was that of a best friend. He cherished her affection and friendship. Dey's confession left Cassidy standing at a crossroads, uncertain about how to navigate the complex emotions that had surfaced. Cassidy found himself in a perplexing situation during their time at the ranch, where he believed Dey had subtly expressed her desire for a romantic connection. The ambiance shifted after an evening of conversation and TV watching, culminating in a shared kiss. He couldn't shake off a sense of discomfort as they prepared for bed, prompting him to reevaluate his feelings towards Dey. He couldn't deny that something was amiss, as the seductive charm he had experienced with other women seemed to be absent. Amidst his internal turmoil, he was torn between risking their friendship by engaging in a physical relationship or potentially hurting Dey by rejecting her advances. It was a classic damned if you do, damned if you don't predicament. The following morning, they engaged in a passionate encounter, but he quickly realized it fell short of his expectations. The experience, unfortunately, left both parties feeling unsatisfied. What made matters worse was the awareness that his reservations had affected the entire interaction. Dey similarly picked up on his uneasy energy, resulting in a brief, unfulfilling, and ultimately disappointing intimacy. As Cassidy had anticipated for years, this encounter had a transformative impact on their relationship, leaving it altered and hanging in the delicate balance he had feared. The Cassidy cash beat the Beatles. The Beatles, iconic as ever, had just unveiled their album Let It Be. And not just that, they also rolled out a movie with the same name, riding high on the waves of the British invasion. Despite the mixed reviews swirling around, their album's single, Let It Be, swiftly conquered the charts. But hold on, there's a twist in the melody. John and Paul. A new sensation was on the horizon, marching right at you with a beat you couldn't ignore. The Partridge Family unleashed what turned out to be their colossal hit, I Think I Love You. Picture this, competing head-on with the full-throttle Beatlemania. Against all odds, the Partridge Family ascended to the summit of the charts, clinching the coveted #1 spot. Imagine that, they had pulled off the seemingly impossible, dethroning the Beatles. The bustling whirlwind of singing, acting, and potentially being the ultimate heartthrob of the groovy David Cassidy's life should have been a dazzling spectacle. Fame, fortune, and adoration from fans could have been his constant companions. However, the reality wasn't quite the glamorous dream one might envision. The Partridge Family, unwittingly and undeservingly, became entangled in a saga of exploitation. Cassidy's name, synonymous with stardom, echoed far beyond concert arenas and TV screens. Lunchboxes, t-shirts, and even board games flaunting his image flooded the market, all without the courtesy of seeking permission. Shockingly, his contract didn't demand a single penny in royalties for him. Imagine being a household name, gracing various merchandise, and having your face plastered on every conceivable product, yet reaping a mere $600 a week. The rest? Well, that was a tribute to Sony and those cunning individuals exploiting his name and image. As if that wasn't enough, some zealous fans crossed the line, engaging in behaviors we'd now unequivocally label as assault. David Cassidy couldn't step out without facing a tidal wave of adoring girls and women practically mobbing him. In the midst of all this tribulation, Cassidy sought to carve out his own rebellion. A bold move indeed, as he bared more than just his soul in a remarkably candid interview with Rolling Stone. To break free from the shackles of the boy-teen idol image, he even went so far as to pose nude for the magazine cover. Amidst the chatter about his drug use, Cassidy was determined to redefine his public persona. Despite the tumultuous journey, David Cassidy persevered, standing tall against the exploitation and challenges that plagued his path to stardom. The captivating saga of Susan and David unfolded against a backdrop of fame, deception, and a relentless pursuit of identity in an industry that often left its brightest stars in the shadows. Now, it's time for today's subscriber pick. In the dimly lit room of a comfortable bookstore, Susan Dey sat surrounded by eager fans. The air was thick with family and friends as the audience awaited the revelation of secrets from her time on The Partridge Family. Susan, clad in a chic black outfit that echoed the glamour of her heyday, took a deep breath before delving into the enchanting tale of her days on the iconic 1970s comedy show. Susan's eyes sparkled with the magic of storytelling as she shared the behind-the-scenes tales that had been hidden away for decades. The Partridge Family, a show that had become a cultural phenomenon, was not just about a fictional musical family, it was a real-life roller coaster for the actors. Susan's eyes gleamed mischievously as she confessed, "David Cassidy and I used to play pranks on each other all the time. One day he replaced all the lyrics to my sheet music with hilarious and ridiculous words. I had to keep a straight face while singing those absurd lyrics during a recording." Laughter rippled through the audience, and Susan continued to unveil the secrets that had been locked away in the treasure chest of her memories. But the real bombshell came when Susan revealed a secret romance that had been hidden from the public eye for decades. "There was a lot more chemistry on set than people realized," she confessed with a sly smile. The room fell silent as she disclosed a whirlwind romance between her and one of the co-stars. Gasps filled the air, and the audience hung on every word as Susan spilled the details of a love affair that had been concealed beneath the bright lights of Hollywood. As the evening drew to a close, Susan left the stage to a standing ovation, leaving behind a room full of grateful fans that had been transported through time and touched by the untold stories of a television classic. Is it right for her to tell the audience openly some secret of what happened in the Partridge Family? Share your thoughts and comments, maintaining a steady stream of conversation and relationship. They effortlessly kept the conversation flowing for a while, exchanging thoughts and ideas, but eventually, life's currents pulled them in different directions. Despite her best attempts, she couldn't transition their connection into a romantic relationship with Cassidy. Nonetheless, they managed to preserve their amicable bond and continued with their respective journeys. A noteworthy moment in their post-drift phase was when they teamed up for a joint television appearance. This happened at the 1990 MTV Video Music Awards, where they co-presented the Viewer's Choice Award. Despite the event being meticulously planned, the spontaneous and playful banter between them managed to bring a genuine smile to the faces of viewers across America. In 1994, in his autobiography titled "Come On, Get Happy, Fear and Loathing on the Partridge Family Bus," Cassidy spilled the beans on his personal life. The pages were filled with revelations about his experiences with drugs and intimate encounters with other celebrities. In the intricate web of his life, Cassidy found himself entangled in a complex bond with his renowned father, Jack Cassidy. Unveiling layers of intimacy, he bared his soul about his profound connection with Shirley Jones, portraying the delicate threads that wove them together. In his written narrative, he depicted Jones as the sisterly confidant he had yearned for, a figure absent in the tapestry of his existence. Within the pages, he shared candid conversations where they delved into the intricacies of his romantic escapades. Amidst these revelations, Cassidy, perhaps unknowingly, assumed the role of an open book, exposing the vulnerabilities of his relationship with Jones. His disappointment surfaced when he expressed a desire for her to be more provocative, a sentiment that did little to fortify their friendship. The confession of a fleeting romance in his autobiography proved to be a catalyst for Jones's ire, as she felt misrepresented in the public eye, never intending for such private details to be laid bare. Attempting to mend the frayed fabric of their association, he extended an olive branch through a letter of reconciliation, a heartfelt attempt at healing the wounds. However, the echo of his efforts met silence, as Jones chose not to respond. Cassidy, in his disclosure, revealed that Jones had distanced herself not only from him, but also from fellow cast members of the Partridge Family. The estrangement extended to declining an interview with VH1 for a documentary about the iconic show, adding another layer of complexity to their disconnection. Regrettably, the resolution of their differences remained shrouded in uncertainty as Cassidy breathed his last on November 21, 2017, leaving behind an unanswered question about the reconciliation that might have been. Shirley Rock on Susan's body. Susan, despite being the object of admiration for a legion of teenage boys captivated by the allure of the enchanting Susan Dey during her show, grappled with profound issues related to her body image. Faced with this internal struggle, she embarked on a stringent diet regimen. Standing tall at 5 feet 7 inches, Susan, at one juncture, saw her weight plummet to a mere 92 pounds. Her journey down the perilous path of anorexia might have continued unabated, if not for the timely intervention of Danny Bonaducci. In a moment of sincere concern, Danny approached Susan with a delicate candor, uttering words that would serve as a pivotal turning point for her. He tactfully remarked, "What's wrong with you? Your skin has taken on an orange complexion and you appear quite unwell." While Susan did not appreciate the bluntness of his observation, responding with a less-than-polite label of male chauvinist piglet, she later acknowledged that such straightforwardness was what one could expect from a brother. Nevertheless, this wake-up call marked a significant moment of realization for Susan, prompting her to reassess her approach to her health and well-being. Danny's intervention, albeit not couched in the softest terms, played a crucial role in steering Susan away from the precarious path she was on, leading her to embrace a healthier perspective on life and her own body. Surely, the embodiment of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. That's the authentic music scene for everyone, including the head of the Partridge Family. Shirley and her husband, Jack Cassidy, the father of David Cassidy, engage in spontaneous rendezvous just across the street from the set. They weren't always flying solo in these secret escapades. Sometimes, they'd extend an invitation to others for a group encounter, all under the not-so-discreet encouragement of Jack. Shirley even dropped the bomb that Joan Collins nearly joined their escapades, but she has since retracted that claim. Regardless, the duo of Shirley and Jack can be described in one word: insatiable. Their social calendar was filled with wild parties featuring lines of coke and an abundance of explicit films. They truly lived the rock and roll lifestyle to the fullest. Imagine this: worlds colliding when Rob Reiner, known to All in the Family viewers as Meathead, played a character named Snake in the Partridge Family. Oh, the coincidences. And don't even get me started on the tattoo that needed some adjustments. While it was amusing to witness Rob Reiner's acting chops, he has since soared to become one of the best directors in the business. Princess Bride, Stand By Me, or perhaps Spinal Tap is more to your liking. But wait, there's more. Richard Pryor also made a cameo in an episode, dropping names of even more legendary entertainers like The Temptations. Rosemary DeCamp, famed for her 157 episodes on The Bob Cummings Show, graced the Partridges not once but 4 times over the years. And guess who else joined the cast for a 3-episode stint in the early 70s? None other than the Scarecrow himself, the legendary Ray Bolger playing Grandpa Fred Renfrew. Partridge forever. Partridge Family doesn't quite roll off the tongue like Meet George Jetson, but the idea clicked, and the Partridges were a big deal in households everywhere. The producers saw an opportunity to take them to space, and voila, the cartoon show was born. This animated venture didn't have the longest run, but before we wrap things up here, why not venture over to our countdown of the cheesiest cartoons from the 1970s? You might just rediscover some wacky shows that slipped your mind. As our virtual bus pulls back in, let's reflect on the roller coaster ride that was the Partridge Family's tour through the cosmos. During their time together, castmates morphed into a makeshift family. Co-workers found themselves harboring crushes. Lines between reality and fiction blurred. Lives were miraculously saved, all in the span of a day's work. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next video,